Okay, so section 1.4, rewriting formulas. What we're going to do here is take these formulas or similar formulas and solve for a different variable. So for example, on distance equals rate times time, we may want to solve for rate, or we may want to solve for time. Area of a triangle, we may want to be solving for the base or the height. What that means is we're going to get that variable by itself. So taking a step back to basic solving equations, let's walk through number 1. How do we solve for x? We subtract 10 from both sides, so those cancel, and we get 5x equals 65. Divide both sides by 5, and we get x equals 13. We're going to apply those same rules of algebra to number 2. Again, we want to solve for x. So first we need to subtract b, just like we subtracted the 10 on number 1. So those are going to cancel. We're left with ax equals, now we can't combine c minus b, so we're just going to write c minus b. Now over here, number 1, we divided by 5. Here we're going to get the x by itself. We're going to divide by a. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side, and now we have x equals c minus b over a. Very similar problems, uses very similar algebraic skills. The difference on number 2 is that you can't combine these like terms as you're going, so they need to stay separate. Moving on to number 3, area equals length times width. That's the area of a rectangle. The directions say to solve for width, so we need to get that w by itself. We have area equals length times width. So to get width by itself, we need to divide by length. So we have area over length equals width. Or we can rewrite it, since we're supposed to solve for width, width equals area over length. Done. Number 4. Here on number 4, we are also solving for w. This is the perimeter of a rectangle. So on number 4, we're going to subtract 2l from both sides. Again, p and 2l are not like terms, so we're going to keep them separate. P minus 2l equals 2w. Keep your focus on what you're solving for. We're solving for this w here, so we need to divide by 2. Divide by 2. P minus 2l over 2 equals w. Or what's the width? The width is the perimeter minus twice the length divided by 2. Number 5, area equals 1/2 base times height. Solve for height. So we want to get this h by itself. It's being multiplied by 1/2 and it's being multiplied by the base. So what we need to do is divide out those two things. Okay, so how do we get rid of 1/2? Well, you can think of it as multiplying 1/2. So now you have to divide by 1/2. Okay, although that's probably not the way that you're used to doing it. What you're used to doing when you have a fraction and you need to get rid of it is that you multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 2 over 1. That cancels. We're going to multiply by 2 over 1. 2 over 1 times the area is 2a equals bh. Again, we're solving for h, so we need to divide by b, divide by b. So h equals 2a over b. Good. Okay. So, on your own, I'd like you to go through and work through these 4 problems, and we'll see how you do. Go ahead and pause now, and when you restart it again, I will give you the answers. Okay, hopefully everybody paused and nobody was cheating there. So I'm going to go through and run through these fairly quickly. Number 1, distance equals rate times time. Solve for rate. So we're going to divide by t, divide by t. The rate is the distance over the time. Number 2, circumference equals 2 pi r. R is the radius, and we need to solve for r. So we're going to divide by, and you can do this as 2 steps or 1, but you need to divide by 2. You also need to divide by pi. They can be done separately or they can be done together. So circumference over 2 pi equals radius, or r equals c over 2 pi. Number 3, solve for x. This is in slope-intercept form, so if we want to solve for x, we're first going to subtract 5. Y minus 5 equals 2x, and divide by 2. X equals y minus 5 over 2. Good. And lastly, solve for Celsius. This is to convert from Celsius into Fahrenheit. So what we're going to do here is minus 32. So F minus 32 equals 9/5 C. Okay, and then to get rid of the 9/5, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5/9. That will cancel that. Then we need to multiply this whole side by 5/9, which would be 5/9 times F minus 32 equals C. That now is the formula for converting from Fahrenheit into Celsius, and then you can go backwards that way. That's all.